So today we are going to discuss about the directed acyclic graphs, nothing but DAG. So the directed acyclic graph DAG is a tool that represents the structure of the basic block. So it helps to see the flow of values flowing among the basic blocks. So it is used to determine the flow of values among the basic blocks. So the DAG provides a easy transformation on basic blocks. The DAG can be understood by following things. That is, we must know some of the basic terms about the DAG. So it consists of a leaf node which represents the identifiers, names and constants, and the interior nodes represents the operators. The interior nodes also represent the result of the expressions or the identifiers or name where the values are to be stored or assigned. Okay, so it consists of leaf nodes which represents the identifiers or names or constants. The interior node represents the operator. The interior node also used to represent, or it is used to store the result of the expression. So the DAG for the basic block is a directed acyclic graph with the following labels on the nodes. So I already told you the leaves of the graphs are labeled with a unique identifier, though it may be a variable name or a constant. The interior node of the graph is labeled by the operator symbol, and these nodes are also used to list out the result, or it is used to store the result. So it stores the sequence of identifiers for the labels to store the computed values. So the DAGs are all, it's also a type of data structure. It is used to implement the transformation on basic blocks. So the DAG provides good way to determine the common sub-expression. For common sub-expression elimination, the DAG plays a very important role. It gives a picture representation of how the value computed by the statement in the subsequent statement also. So next we are going to discuss about the algorithm for the construction of DAG. The input for this is the basic block. The output is we are going to generate the DAG. So for each node consists of a label. For leaves, the label is an identifier. Each node contains a list of attached identifiers to hold the computed values. It has three cases. The first case is x is equal to y operator reset. Second case is x is equal to operator reset. Third case is x is equal to y. So we are going to see it one by one. So the method is in step 1, if y is the operand, we have to create node y. If s is the operand, then you have to create a node called z. And in step 2, we have to check whether it is in the case 1, case 2 or case 3. If it is case 1 means we have right child and left child. So create one node for right child, create one node for left child, and create one node for operator. This operator node becomes the root, and this node z becomes the right child and node y becomes the left child. In case 2, we have only node and the child node. We have only one child node, so create a node called OP and one child node called Y. And in the case 3, just we have only one node Y, which we call as the root node as well as the leaf node. So the output of this is in DAG. So this is the construction of DAG. So next we are going to discuss about the example of construction of DAG. Okay, consider this 3-address statement. S1 is equal to 4 into I. I already told you here this operator is act as the root node, and this 4 and I are act as the left child and right child. Okay, so this is the diagram. So 4 and I naught, or we can say I, is act as the left child and right child. This multiplication operator is act as the root node. So this computed value is stored in S1. So in the operator part you have to mention S1. That means the computed value was stored in this S1. What is statement 2? In statement 2 is we are going to make it as an array. So S2 is equal to A of S1. So the S1 value is assigned with A of S1. So you have to draw like this. So this is your S1. You are going to make it as A of S1. The result is stored in S2. So now the statement result is stored in S2. So this is a way to draw the directed acyclic graphs. Thank you.